Last time we did a classic watch along, we traveled back to my senior year of high school. This week, we're going to travel back to my junior year of high school, 11th grade, for good mic work in 1994. So this is going to be the 30th anniversary, give or take. I'm not sure the exact date of Spring Stampede 1994, but we're probably just past the 30th anniversary of this show, and this is pretty much the last gasp of what we would know WCW to be before Hulk Hogan came in, which he would arrive there in the summer. And here it is, April sometime. And we've got this pay-per-view from WCW that I remember very little about. So it's going to be almost like watching it for the first time. Obviously, Flair and Steamboat is headlining the show. Got a quick look at the card. Looks pretty good. And excited to watch this one with you guys. Hope you guys are having a great Sunday night. Juliet, I'm reading this right away. Tonight's Rivals is Austin and Booker T. That's interesting that they are going to be the Rivals episode. Their rivalry wasn't that big. I mean, they had the grocery store brawl, but I would argue that maybe Booker T and The Rock might be even a bigger rivalry than Austin Booker, but interesting to see and to know that. Juliet, thanks for the info and thanks for the $5. So Darby, no soul getting hit by a bus. Oh, only in Darby's world would climbing Mount Everest be the safer option for him, because he's already had some incidents since he planned to make this trip. Got hurt. Now he got hit by a bus, fucking broken nose and shit, and still went and did whatever he planned on doing the other night when that happened. Dude is crazy. And yes, Drew McIntyre also re-signing with WWE. A lot of this news came in after yesterday's podcast, so we did not get a chance to talk about that yesterday. But Juliet, good to see you as always. George Morris, always great to see you, my friend. Appreciate $5. Hey, Greg, how are you doing? How is Tito? WCW Spring Stampede? Question mark out of 10. First time watching. Can me and you do a show together? You are a very cool guy. Be safe. Man, George, you want to make the trip and sit right here? We'll do a watch along together in front of everybody. Maybe we'll have a big old party at my house one day. One of these days. Happy Sunday again to everyone. Sorry I hit those 2 super chats first. They were just staring me right in the face. And Juliet had hit us with some information there. But happy you guys are here again to get back into these classic watch-alongs. We were here last Sunday watching Dynasty together. So we've taken a week off. And 2 weeks ago, we watched WCW Uncensored 1995. We're sticking with WCW here to wrap up the month of April, watching Spring Stampede. And then next month in May, we'll hit maybe whatever Judgment Days might be left, or I don't know what else. We'll figure out some shit to do for May, but I figured we would stick with the springtime theme this month in April and watch Spring Stampede. I think the only Spring Stampede I've done on the channel was last year. I think we did 99. So I haven't done really any Spring Stampedes. And 94 looked pretty decent. And like I said, right on the doorstep of the red and yellow, making its appearance in Ted Turner's wrestling company. But good to see everybody in here as always. Tatanani and We Are Pro Wrestling. Good to see you, my friends. Ray Fran, Brian Snow, and channel members like Big J and JJ Leg and Tatanani and the Juliet. We also have Victor Colon. All Sports Are Scripted is up in here. George Morris, like I said earlier. Brandon McNeil, trying to hit all these lovely channel members. You're the ones I see first. I also see Mike Rouse. We've got Ray Friend. I think I got you already. David Brown, good to see you as always. Rodrigo, William Cullen, Serge, Yuri Lover, sup party people, first time here. I'm glad you're here. You're going to like this one. I think this one's going to be fun to watch. 30 years ago, a lot of you weren't even born, but I think we'll still have a good time watching this one. Jonelle, good to see you as well. Daniel Barry Sports, we got Kevin Plays up in here. Daniel Clark, I see. Mike Witt is here, thank God. And anybody else chiming in as we get rolling here. Good to see you. Thank you for being here, and happy Sunday night watch-along day. So we are going to get going here in a second on Spring Stampede 1994. You guys know what to do. We watch on Peacock over here. If you're outside the United States, you got to watch somewhere else. And in a few minutes, we're all going to hit play together. The timer below my face will begin to run, and you just want to match up your timer with my timer, and that's how we watch along together here on Peacock. Spring Stampede's runtime is 2 hours, 50 minutes, and 12 seconds. So you want to go to Spring Stampede, find Season 1, Episode 1. So this is the first ever Spring Stampede, and just under a 3-hour runtime for this one. It ought to be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Daniel Clark was in his mama's womb during this. All right, so you were baking. You probably only had like half an arm. That all deformed little face. Probably one ear's come in, the other one hasn't shown up yet. Oh, you probably looked a mess back in those days, Daniel Clark. Just like half-made, little half-made Daniel Clark watching Spring Stampede. I was just entering the workforce. I was a busboy in a really high-end restaurant. I'd only had my driver's license for about 7 or 8 months by this point, as I turned 16 in September of 93. And it was a crazy time, man. I had weird hair. I had braces. I got braces very late in high school due to some dental work I had done as a kid that didn't allow me to have braces until I got a little bit older. So I had to graduate in fucking braces. I did. I had friends and everything too. Nobody even called me a metal mouth. I was very lucky. Tatanani, you were 27. Damn, you're old. JJ was negative 6.5. Brandon was 10. Mike Rouse was 22. Good. See, I'm not so old. Serge, you were 9. Brian, you were 12. Well, I wouldn't have gone to school with any of you. I guess, Brian, you're the closest. I would have only been about 5 years older than you at the time. But yeah, I still have a lot of memories, man. I was driving a 1994 Nissan Sentra. It was a 2-door little coupe. And I put... I put a system in it. I bought one of those CD players with a detachable faceplate, and I had that installed. Then I put like a system in. I didn't even like really listen to rap music, but I still had big giant speakers in the back. Well, I listened to a little bit of rap in the back of my trunk. The subwoofers, JL subwoofer, 10-inch woofers that just pounded bass through, and I had some little tweeters and ran everything through and souped the whole damn thing up. Tinted my windows. Y'all would have just thought that 1994 Greg was crazy, because he was. But yeah, that's what I was driving around this time. And We Are Pro Wrestling is about to be 3. Oh, there you go. All sports are scripted. We're about the same. You were a sophomore. I was a junior. I was just a little bit older and probably more popular than you. But other than that, we were pretty much the same. Oh, man. Fun times. I can't wait to see what this pay-per-view is like. So let's fire up Spring Stampede 1994. By the way, ads are turned off for this video, for my video anyway. So if you do experience ads on your streaming software, or streaming service, you won't experience it with me. So hopefully that helps you a little bit keep track of the timer there. And it should make our viewing experience pleasurable. So if you guys are ready, I am ready. Let me cue up my fingers here. We're going to do 3, 2, 1, play as always, okay? And I'm ready to start watching some Stampeding from the spring of 94. I'm curious, before we even start this, is Jesse on commentary for this? Because I know Jesse kind of left right as Hogan came in. So it'll be interesting to see or hear Jesse Ventura on commentary here. We'll find out. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Boom, I nailed mine. Oh, Stunning Steve is here too. I forgot. Look at this talent. Steve, Pillman, Rude, Steamboat, Regal, Flair. Holy shit. Oh, this great WCW production. We ragged on that last week, or 2 weeks ago. Cactus Jack and Man Mountain Rock teaming up. This would have been just a couple of weeks after WrestleMania 10. Or maybe a month after WrestleMania 10. Oh, the international title. All right. Texas's own Dustin Rhodes is saddling up for his Bunkhouse match with Colonel Parker's latest trophy-smashing find, Bunkhouse Buck. Bunkhouse Buck. As the boss tries to brand the monstrous Vader with his version of Law and Order. So he's the boss here, huh? How long did he stay the boss? I thought the boss was super short-lived. We Are Pro Wrestling? What's the deal with the boss? I thought the boss was like one show, and then he had to be the guardian angel. Guess not. And when did Boss Man officially leave WWE? I know he was there until like early 93, and then Boss Man was gone. So did it take him a whole year to turn up in WCW? Holy shit, I didn't realize they're at the Rosemount. Wow. That's WWE's house. That's where WrestleMania 13 was, and WrestleMania 2, and WrestleMania 22, and Money in the Bank. I recognize that Coke sign anywhere. Wow. Aaron Neville. He now wrestles under the name Pac in AEW. Oh, maybe that's a different guy. Oh, yeah, that's not him. Aaron Neville always had the very... Look at his gut. Look at his... He looks like Ernest the Cat Miller. He's always had that very unique voice. Wow, We Are Pro Wrestling. So Boss Man showed up prior to Starrcade 93, and he kept that boss shit the whole time? I thought WWE nipped that in the bud super quick. I must have had that wrong. The boss. So we're getting a... Their production is so sketch and so weak. Boss Man was at SummerSlam 93? Or you mean Neville? Neville might have been. Well, yeah, he might have been. Was he there with Lex, doing something with Lex? I don't remember. There's Bobby Heenan and Tony Schiavone. God. Mean Gene, Jesse Ventura, and Bobby Heenan, all in WCW, was just, to me, it was wild. And a tough pill to swallow. Can't believe they booked the Rosemont Horizon. I don't ever recall WCW holding the show there. But they probably held a few. Weasel. They're saying Weasel. Ha! Here comes Mark Marrow. Or he's a Johnny B. Bad. He's a Johnny Bad. I don't know the song. I don't know how it goes. Yeah, by the way, I know there's a lot of playoffs going on, so I'm not expecting a huge audience tonight. And if any of you are watching me over the NBA or NHL, thanks. And if anybody's got some scores, I know the Lakers won, avoiding a sweep. When do they play again? But maybe tonight. They might be losing right now. Who's he facing? He's got his little gun. I didn't really like WCW's like custom music because it always had like too much of a country twang or vibe to it. Like this song. He's a litter bug. Well, at least Johnny B. Bad dressed the part. He's wearing a cowboy hat and everything. I miss the old... This is what I miss about WCW, is that long, shiny curtain and the stage to the ring. Oh, deep. Oh, wow. Kimberly. 1994 Kimberly. That might be the best Kimberly. It's filet mignon Kimberly. Look at the guy with the TBS shirt. I love it. A white TBS sweatshirt. How did somebody who is as unhandsome as DDP and get someone as hot as Kimberly. I always wondered that. She must be attracted to personality because DDP's the greatest guy that's ever fucking lived. So I can understand her attraction. I got a present. Gene got hooked up with something. Yeah. Oh, he's got him. They kind of had a feud, I think, didn't they? Danny Bonaducci had a match on this card, a dark match against Christopher. Who the fuck is Christopher Knight? Oh, he's Peter. Oh, yeah. He's a Brady kid. Holy shit. Oh, my God. So they had a Partridge Family versus a Brady bunch. Jesus. None of the Detroit teams are in, so I don't care. Yeah. I didn't even realize the draft was in Detroit the other day. I'm so stupid. I saw some like outdoor shot of like all these people in Detroit. I'm like, why are these fucking people hanging around outside downtown Detroit to watch the fucking draft on a big screen? Let's watch it at home. And then I'm like, oh, it's there. I get it. Okay. Makes a little more sense now. Got Pee Wee Anderson on the call here. Isn't it crazy that it would take DDP like another, what, 4 years plus to get to that world title? 5, I think. When did he win the world title? Like early 99 finally? Mid 99? So yeah, 5 years. Wow. These are the days of WCW I miss. Like, I would turn them on. Like, I wouldn't, like, make a point to watch it like I would watch WWE. But if I was home and I was channel surfing and WCW was on, I'd watch it. I'd watch all of it. And that's how I consumed most of my WCW back in the day, is just if I happened to be home and it was on, of course I'd watch it because I was a wrestling fan. But I wasn't recording their shit and, you know, going crazy over it the way I was WWE's. But I was still curious and interested in what they were doing. Liked some of what they did, hated some of other shit they did. You know, Mark Marrow, Johnny B. Bad was one of those guys that Vince McMahon was kind of enamored with. And then when he signed him, it turned out he was a little bit more enamored with his wife. And that really hurt Mark Marrow. Mark Marrow should have never brought Sable to that contract signing. You know, because when you have a sexual deviant like Vince McMahon getting one look at her, he just gave her a contract that led to her getting $1 million for a Playboy deal and all that. None of that shit would have happened if Vince just wouldn't have become smitten like he does with everybody else. But for a while there, I thought Vince was smitten with Mark Marrow. He gave him a big contract. Marrow was making more than Austin for a while there. I think Vince saw big money in him. I kind of did at the time, too, in 96 when he came in. And even with the pairing with Sable, I kind of looked at them as like a modern-day Savage and Liz, especially when Sable started wearing the evening gowns instead of just the black, and Marrow started... The wild man, Mark Marrow, started looking more like Johnny B. Bad with the big flashy robes and stuff. And I kind of thought they were, you know, not the same, but a 1996 WWE version. Wow, check out that sign. It says, "We want Chris and Tammy." This is April of 1994. This is April of 1994, and there is a We Want Chris and Tammy. They were still a full year plus away from debuting in WWE. So they would have been working what? USWA or Smoky Mountain. That would have been where Chris and Tammy would have been at the time, right? That's crazy. Johnny be stupid. Ha. Yeah, that just seems like it's really kind of before. It's kind of before they would have really gotten on the map. I mean, what would have Chris and Tammy have done to garner a national... Got him with the sunset. To gain any sort of national exposure. That was the power of magazines. Like when Skip and Sonny debuted in WWE, I knew I'd seen their faces before. But the fact that you got signs in the crowd in April of 94 for those two is wild. Here comes Johnny B. Bad, and he just beat DDP real bad. Look at this, Tony. To play over that top rope, that takes a lot of guts to do something like that. Not real bright, but a lot of guts. He said, take a picture. I don't know the words, but I like to pretend what they are. And I'm gonna take a picture. And I'm gonna take a picture, because I'm Johnny B. Bad. I will say this. I like Johnny B. Bad's song better than the Big Show's song. Yeah, I'm not even sure if DDP was using Diamond Cutter yet. He's still way beyond near the top of the card. A Bunkhouse match still to come, and then the Boss versus Vader. What an exciting lineup we have. This is a tremendous pay-per-view, Tony Schiavone. Well, because I'm here and because all the great stars of WCW, and you're going to see a lot of people carted out of here in a bag. A bag. A big bag with a zipper. A big bag with a zipper. All right, Mean Gene and Jesse. Look at Jesse. Jesse, what's with that shit going on in the back here? Just cut that off, man. Are they mentioning Hogan yet? I love that Gordon Soley's running the line. Jeez. Kids, you must have your parents' permission. Calls a 99-cent limit. By the way, Penny Long on Friday night, and Jesse, you're going to be on the air on the hotline on Wednesday. Wednesday night, Mean Gene. 99 cents per minute wasn't that bad. I think WWE's was more expensive. Everything that happened over the last week. Wow. Jesse, everything. Things I can't talk about here. Oh. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget tonight a ton of great matches, including one that should be a classic. I remember watching WCW, one of those situations I was talking about, just casually watching at home. WCW Saturday night. And I don't remember who it was. It might have been Bobby. And somebody mentioned Hulk Hogan's name. And I was like, excuse me? And right there, I knew. I'm like, well, they wouldn't mention him if he wasn't coming in. So I heard about it there before I read it in any magazine. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I think it was by, I know the line, it was something to the effect of, I heard that Hulk Hogan can't stand that Ric Flair is world champion or something like that. I'm like, why would they say that? So I was like, oh no. All right, here comes Brian. He is does not appear to be flying. His movie land, good looks. Oh no, he's flying. He's flying, Brian. It's too bad he's not from Hawaii. He could be flying Hawaiian Ryan. That would be awesome. Or just Hawaiian Ryan. I'm going to Hawaii in like 3 months. I don't know why, guys. I can't tell you why. But this is like my favorite William Regal theme. I love this theme in WCW. It just takes me back, like, to this time. And that's Bill Dundee, fucking Sir William. Dressed like the fucking Undertaker. You can't really hear the music. But this song that Regal used, it's one of the songs and themes like Steiner's, like Johnny B. Bad, that I just automatically associate with WCW. Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah, Michael Buffer's doing the announcing for Pillman and fucking Regal. That's crazy. I think I'm gonna listen to this theme when we're done with the stream tonight. I'm gonna dance around my house. WCW had some oddly good themes. They were kind of bad, but they were kind of bad in a way that made them good. You ever take one of them shits that just smells oddly good? You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's something like that. It's some sort of phenomenon like that. Like, the songs themselves aren't great. They're actually kind of shitty themes, but they bring back happy memories for me for some reason. Oh my, he knelt right down and bitch slapped. So I guess he would have been, what, Steven Regal here, right? God, he was always so good. How old do you think Regal was here? Probably in his 20s, yeah? This is 1994, probably, what, 28? I'd guess he'd probably be 28-ish, something like that. Young. It looks like he's 35, but I would be willing to bet Regal is under 30 or early 30s here. I don't know. I'm not sure if American Males does have that. That is one song I legitimately do hate. That one's so bad it just stays bad. I like Chris Benoit's in WCW too. I thought he had a kind of a hard-hitting one. Ooh, let's see. Hold on a second, guys. I think I have this. I think. Yeah. Thing is in great condition. Amazing condition on this box. There you go. Cool little back of it too. Yeah. Cool. I cannot believe how... Like, you have to hold this to believe. I've never really looked at it before, but holy shit. This is one of the most mint condition VHS cardboard boxes I've ever seen for it being 30 years old. It's one of the better ones I have. I should look this up, see what it goes for on eBay. Mint. And I keep them all in these snazzy little cases. That way they stay protected. Right back in you go. Oh, wait, let's put it back here. Let's display it. While Regal works over Pillman with a wrist lock. He was 25? Bro. Regal was 25 here in 1994? Jesus Christ. I was not doing enough with my life. My God. He was only 8 years, 9 years older than me at the time. Oh.
He was the one that carried the whole team. He's the one that was real tight and close with Colonel Parker. He was lucky to be there. Well, then let me ask you this. Please do.
I remember this year, too, one year in school. You're starting to get older. I had my driver's license. Some of my friends did. And there was a girl. She was kind of my girlfriend sometimes, kind of wasn't. But we were friends, and we were, like, in drama class one day. And I don't know how it came up, but I was going to go home. I lived like 5 minutes down the road. I was going to go home for some reason and eat some lunch, and I was going to bring some people some food back. I skipped school like every day. And she was like, why don't you take my car? She drove like a LeBaron. Oh, shit. And it was the first time I had like driven another friend's car. It was very cool to me. I drove home, and then my mom showed up. And she's like, who the fuck is here? And I'm like, I'm just here. She's like, whose car is that? I'm like, that's Stephanie's car. Why are you driving LeBaron? I'm like, I just came home for a minute. Don't worry about it, Mom. Don't ask any questions. She was so freaked out. And then I left, went to the Burger King drive-thru, got food, and took it back to school and fed like 4 classmates. Oh, Jesus, that's a wrenching situation there for Pillman, who's totally grounded here by Regal. Just, if there's ever a wrestler I think who could slow down a flyer, it's just Regal. I think Regal's one of the better wrestlers at like keeping his opponent on the mat once they're there. Better than Brett even. Yeah, it's because of this shit. He's just more of a... Like in that British wrestling, man. Oh. Ooh, that's like a combination... Surfboard... Or not surfboard, bow and arrow. Bow and arrow chin lock thing. Yo, Mike Witt, appreciate the $5, dude. Great WCW watch-along choice. I have a request for an ECW Classic watch-along this year. We should do that. We should do an ECW one. I looked at a few of them, but none of them were, like, sticking out. I was like, oh, we got to watch that one. I think we have done 1 or 2, but we need to show ECW some more love. We definitely do. We hadn't shown WCW any love in a while, so figured I'd hit them with a couple of back-to-backs. I don't want WCW to think that we forgot about them. We haven't. We love them. We've got to remind WCW that they're special to us, too. It's like when you have 2 pets. Oh, and by the way, is Tito watching with us? He was. I have a feeling he's under that red blanket as usual, but I don't see him. I don't currently have a visual on Tito. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. He's right behind the monitor. If my monitor was invisible, I could see him. God, that power of Regal to lift him back up like that. He's going to do a somersault. All right, there's already a We Want Hogan sign in the crowd there, so the word is out. I was curious if he had been brought up yet or if his name was starting to be talked about, and I guess he definitely was by this point. And I kind of remember that too. Around WrestleMania 10 is around the time I started feeling like him going to WCW was possible. But I remember that first night that I heard his name uttered on Saturday night, and I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah, that bird's not going anyplace. He's got a mechanical. He's got to sit on his runway for a while.
Is there really a bird in the audience?
He's not going anyplace. His lordship is playing with him now. He's got him where he wants it. He's wrestling. He's doing what he does.
It's his lordship.
On the mat.
That's Alfred Hayes.
Right behind the legs.
Well, I guess if you're a lord, you're automatically lordship. Any of y'all in the chat lords? If you are, let me know. I'll make sure I call you lordship. There's a better bow and arrow. It looks like shit, though. Regal, not the best. I expect better.
I'm surprised Pillman hasn't given up. You know, he's known as a quitter. When he played football, yeah. Where'd you hear that? How many Super Bowl rings does he have? Thank you.
Bobby Heenan says Brian Pillman's a quitter.
Flyer's back on the champion again.
Somebody with the Twitter account Prince Debit just followed me. Thanks. I know what that's from. I get that reference. Prince Debit.
But during a match these two had, Brian was pile driven on the floor. That's great. Oh, that's great, huh? Well, he thinks he can go in the ring, Pillman, and punch people in the mouth, slap people in the face, push people around, talk tough, and then get in the ring and expect nothing to happen to him. Come on.
Yeah, Austin's got a match on the show too, right? Does it have the card listing on here?
10 minutes have expired. We hear from Gary Capetta, and we have 5 minutes to
His name's not even on here. I know he has a match, or I thought he did. Guess we'll find out.
time limit. And Regal contend here with wrestling.
Is this going to go with the time limit? Is that what we're doing?
Sir William, how much time is left in this match? Yep, just under 5 minutes. Meanwhile, Brian realizes he's under the gun. Regal goes down. Now this will show you what a champion is. If Brian is championship material, he'll win it. If he's not, then Regal's a champion.
It's more than a Balor reference. It's a tweet reference to somebody. Everybody dunked on him. I'm convinced the account is a parody, because human history has yet to record a thought so stupid. But he called him Prince Debit, like debit card. Prince Debit. Your card has insufficient funds.
At the 4-minute mark to go, we've gone
The fact that they're shouting out these time,
59 by Sir William.
the time limit makes me think we're getting a good old draw.
Less than 4 now, the fans getting at Sir William here. Look at some humanoid brought a sign, USA. There's no idea where he's at, right? He wants to remind Sir William on the outside. Meanwhile, surprised that Regal even brought Brian.
There's a hilarious clip of Tony Khan. I guess it's from last night's Collision, where he says something in the microphone and then he just does this ever so slight like this cell on the neck. It's just, he's not trying to be funny, but it is funny, and that's the stuff about Tony Khan that I like, is the fact that he doesn't even mean to be a goof. He's just a goof, you know? Some people are just goofs. I always thought, like, Eli Manning, you know, it was kind of like a goof. Like, he didn't mean to be, but every time he, like, spoke, I'm like, this guy's a fucking idiot. I don't know why I thought that. I just, he was kind of, like, lovably dumb. George Bush was lovably dumb. Only problem is he was president and a war criminal. But if he wasn't president, he just was your neighbor, he'd be lovably dumb. One thing WWE and WCW both did pretty good was maintaining and retaining the referees over the years. They both had their core guys. They didn't jump ship as much. I think referee pay was more, it was more uniform. So it didn't really matter maybe where you worked.
Once again, the 10 count. Both men on the mat. Now's the time for about 4 or 5 good atomic drops.
4 or 5 good atomic drops. They're not going to make it that long. The time limit's going to end here any second.
Brian's not getting up. His time isn't helping him. Time is hurting.
Yeah, and Peyton's kind of goofy too, but he's got the deadpan. I'm good at that too. I've got the deadpan shit down.
He needs a series of moves. And he's going in after him. Regal waiting on him.
Oh.
That's it. He'll never beat him now. There's not enough time left. It only takes 3 seconds, Brain, and he can roll over right now, baby. And get it. Well, you're semi-right about that. Semi-right? Well, he didn't do it. 1 minute remains the time limit.
1 minute.
1 minute to go.
Oh, God. Pillman could always get up on those drop kicks. I credit Pillman. I mean, at least in America anyway, he was very innovative, and I think innovated a lot of the high-flying offense we would come to see so much of was because we hadn't seen too many guys that had just like that raw athleticism like that. We had a lot of football players that could come in and stuff, but nobody who could like jump and leap the way he could. And he was just a true professional athlete in every sense of the word. And he had a lot to do with, you know, he might not have been Rey Mysterio influential, but he got the ball rolling, I think. There it is. Oh, look at that. That was a Brett and Lex Rumble 94 finish right there. Dundee. Well, this match is over. He's trying to pin him. Nope, he's not going to win the championship. Not on a draw. Who booked that sign? I love that we've somehow... These signs in the crowd are not 1994 signs. I think we're in a simulation and we've got some universes crossing here. Because who booked this shit sign in 94 is not something you would see a lot. At all. And we already had a Chris and Tammy sign, which seems about a year too early. And now, who booked this crap sign or whatever it said? Or maybe just this is Chicago and some fans were smarter than me when I was that age.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining me right now at a very rare appearance north of the Mason-Dixon line, the greatest promoter on the face of the planet Earth, Colonel Robert Parker. Before I talk to this fertilizer salesman over here, Sonny, Steve Austin, and Muta, coming up here very shortly from the United States. You're talking about a fertilizer salesman here, you know. All you're selling here is the dressing room inside of here. You know, today I feel like the greatest promoter of all time. Look over here when I'm talking to you. I'm feeling the shoes.
Poor Mean Gene.
You know, ever since Elvis Presley disappeared,
I don't know anything about Bunkhouse Buck outside of his run in WCW. Not a thing.
From Japan, the greatest star Japan has to offer, great Muta. I'm sure that's going to be an exciting event.
I mean, I remember him from these days. I remember the stud stable and all that shit. And I think he was teaming with like Dick Slater for a little while. There's a great locker room fight story of Dick Slater beating up Sting and shoving his head in the toilet and everything. My daddy told me, boy.
Good things come to those who wait. My good time is near, boy. Dustin Rhodes, you can't fit. Drugstore travel, I think you're
He was definitely intense. I'm trying to think of the actor he reminds me of. Yeah, he did have kind of a foghorn leghorn thing going on, Parker, didn't he? I don't even recall, like... Well, I guess I do a little bit. They felt more outlaw and Rombassi to me, like the Fullers, than just foghorn leghorn. So I think this is an animated version of Fuller, but It was, I liked a lot of the managers outside of WWE. I love there's some WWE had the legends and stuff, but outside of WWE, you had the Gary Harts and the Skandor Akbars and the Rob Parkers and who else in WCW was kind of prominent that I really liked. Now I can't think, of course. Look at the Nasties, my God. They nasty, all right. So I guess it would be like the following year. I mean, Max Payne would be leaving WCW soon, and he'd show up in WWE with that sweet-ass guitar. Cactus would head off to WCW pretty soon as well. From the state of euphoria. You gotta be kidding me.
Cactus Jack, Max Payne hit the ring, and immediately in this Chicago street fight, it's out of hand.
J.J. Dillon, there you go. Yeah, J.J. Dillon and Paul Jones. I almost forgot about J.J. I like that he's got football. Shit, it's not even football season. The Cubs and White Sox are about to just kicked off their seasons, I guess, in 1994. Who won the title in 94? Strike. 94 was Strike, right? Baseball? I remember the Expos were like going to win the title, and then they didn't finish the season. Ooh, you know what I also want to look up? Maybe you guys can do it for me. Little fun watch-along project. Find out what happened first. Spring Stampede 1994 or Kurt Cobain's death. I bet you they happened in the same week. God. What's he got? Oh, that's just like a broomstick handle or something. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. I have no idea who wins this. I don't recall the feud. Cactus looks quite... God, he is 2 years away from debuting as Mankind. That's just so crazy to me. Got those sweatpants on. Classic Cactus. Clactus. And please don't take a gnarly bump on that ramp, bro. Oh, God. Foley was 4 years away, over 4, from the Hell in the Cell bump. And it still hurts to watch him. He looks in very bad shape here. He looks very large. He's got a hole in his crotch there. Oh, okay. He died earlier than I thought, April 5th. Okay. So 2 weeks in between these. I was thinking they might be like the same day. I remember learning about it in the car. I was on a road trip driving home from Florida back to North Carolina. We were almost home when I heard it. I remember watching Kurt Loder on MTV News. You know who I miss? Tabitha Soren. Greg liked Tabitha Soren back in the day. Oh, look at the... This is where they set the merch up? Okay, that's not a real merch stand. They wouldn't have a merch stand gated off. So at Uncensored, what were we watching? We were watching Nasties and Harlem Heat, right? And where Sherry got all her boobies came out and everything, remember? So this is kind of the same thing. They're over here in the back of the arena, or at least two of them are. Oh, wow. OJ had not even busted into that house and cut those two people's heads off yet, hadn't he? Ugh. I remember watching SportsCenter the morning he was arrested, and he had his hands in cuffs. They got him the day the bodies were found. They immediately arrested him. And I remember thinking, like, holy shit. Oh, my God. He does not have the power or the stamina to get him up, does he? Oh, yes, he does. Oh. Through the merch. That was Knobs. Max Payne slammed Knobs through the merch stand table. It's crazy that regardless of inflation, it feels like t-shirts have always been like in the $20 range, right? I haven't bought a wrestling t-shirt in forever, but if you go to a show right now, can you get a shirt for $20 or is it like 25? Or is it 30 now? But all the shirts I bought in the Attitude Era, they're all $20. I bought 3 Austin shirts at one time once. Oh. There's no comparison between Cactus's WCW run and WWE run. He was a multi-time champion in WWE, got his flowers, had some unbelievable moments there, and kind of isn't cemented in history. Not a lot of what he did in WCW is really immortalized, in his legacy, because there was just so many matches like this one. And look at this split screen there. It's the same thing they're showing you. I think he doesn't get a lot of credit for some of these bumps he took in WCW. Some of these early ones that were just crazy. But if you just mean Cactus Jack the character, he did more in WCW with that name. But I argue he might be remembered more for WWE just based on one match with Triple H at the Rumble in 2000. I think that one match in WWE on that stage outshines almost everything he did in WCW. Or gave him as much recognition anyway, equal amount. Oh, God, watch it. Oh, okay. Whew. I thought he was about to suplex Sags on the upright legs of that table, impaling the poor bastard. Oh, setting up a table on the ramp. Oh, there you go. Cactus Jack executes a German suplex on a table that landed on Sags. Right on. Cactus is just having a full-on wrestling match with a table. The ear thing is a big deal. That is a big deal. That Vader bump was also not pretty. I'm not saying nobody remembers what he did in WCW. I just think what he did in WWE carries more weight. Whoa. But that's part of the reason. Oh, look at them. They're on the table. Jesus Christ. That was not going to work. Those two guys are 300 pounds each. They're trying to both stand on the table. Even a Japanese table couldn't withstand that. Holy shit. They were standing on the table that was on the ramp. I'd have a panic attack up there. Oh my God. God damn. God, is that fucking necessary? Oh my God, I've never seen that bump before. I've never seen that particular Cactus bump. Oh my God! What am I watching? Okay, so he threw Cactus flat back bumped off the stage onto the flat concrete, and then Sags brained him with a shovel for the win. Fucking Christ. I'm kind of at a loss for... I'm like Darby Allin at Revolution, lost for words here. Look at Cactus is getting right up. Like he's fine. Mother of Christ. Great Odin's Raven. Oh my God. I wasn't expecting them. I just thought this was going to be a laid-back, chill watch-along. We're just going to sit here and talk about our favorite breakfast cereals and shit. And then Cactus Jack dies. I mean, obviously that shovel was gimmicked. It's probably a lightweight metal, soft aluminum or something, right? But he still got hit directly in the face with it without getting a hand up or anything. Look at Johnny B. Bad. He's still very sweaty. Or oily. All right, I'm fucking having issues with that last match. My God. Was that a 4 foot solid? It's higher than a ring apron. It's probably 1.5 foot higher than a ring apron. And Cactus flat back bumped onto concrete off of it. If I were to stand up on my bed and take a flat back bump on my bed, it would hurt a little. It would still hurt a little. Even on my bed, my joints would be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Imagine doing it on concrete. My God. Oh, it's Muta. This is great. Great Muta and stunning Steve. What, for the U.S.? The U.S. title? Yes. This is a cool match. Look at Muta's music. At least I think it's Muta's music. Yeah, it definitely is. I kind of like the little... This is pretty horrible music here for Muta. To take this title out of this country to his hometown of Tokyo, Japan. I love this. Great Muta and Steve Austin for a championship on a pay-per-view. And we're watching it. I'm surprised it took us this long to get to this show. Feels like I would have hit this one 2 years ago. Mike, I am gonna forget about it. Actually, I didn't even know you sent one. Let's see it. Oh yeah, it's right there. Thanks for the $2. Last shirt you bought was Punk during Summer of Punk. How much did it cost? Wrestling shirts are $40 now. Oh, okay, so they have gone up. Okay, so at least, okay, so that makes sense. I mean, they should. I was kind of under the impression they were still $20. That's how long it's been since I bought a shirt. Wow, $40? Fuck that. Plus, I can only wear one specific kind of shirt. I can't wear all cotton shirt. I have a weird body type or something. It just doesn't look right on me. I wear, like, that's why I'm always wearing the same shit in all my streams, because I just like a good, soft, cotton poly blend, large t-shirt that fits me. I have long kind of Gumby arms. So, like, a lot of short sleeve shirts just come up a little too high on me. So I'm like, it's hard for me to find ones that fit me. And then if I get an extra large, then it looks too big. So I'm just like right in this weird, sweet, not sweet spot of really struggling to find shirts that fit me. If I was a bigger guy, like bigger, I could just put on any shirt. I'd look fine, but they look weird on me. So I stay away from cotton shirts, which is why I don't buy wrestling shirts, because they're all cotton. And then if I ever try to wear them, I just look awkward as all fuck. And I don't like that. So unless I'm wearing a hoodie over them or something, then I don't care. If it's cold, then I'll wear a hoodie and I can display underneath, but I can't. If I'm just wearing short sleeve shirts and that's it, I have to wear like a certain kind. Elizabeth knows this about me, and she helps me. This is very cool. Stunning Steve and great Muta.
Now, fans, if you've been watching WCW Saturday Night, you know that for the past 3 or 4 weeks,
And what I liked, Muta was always in and out of WCW.
wrestlers from Japan here to
That was how I knew. I mean, during the early 90s and stuff, that's how I knew the most about Muta. Is because all the years he would make appearances and have matches in WCW. I knew him mostly from WCW, and then any Japan stuff I saw of him would have been from the magazines, of which I had a plethora of. I'd go to the newsstands once a month and buy every single publication. I've showed my magazines before. I've sold off about half of them, but I still have a good amount. A couple hundred.
people here look this thing. I mean, this man is a big, huge, colossal star over there. And if he
And I would just read through them. It just amazed me how much time I spent in my life like reading through magazines. You know, no internet, no nothing. Can't look anything up. There's nowhere to look it up. So you can't learn about anything other than just reading and coming across information and retaining it. You can't like seek out to find out something. It was really hard to do that.
a complete wrestler. Side headlock applied on Stunning Steve out of the top wrestler.
That's why I think I'm in the best age, because I remember life prior to smartphones and shit. So I can appreciate, you know, how easy everything is now. Now, if I just want to learn about something, I can learn about something.
They're very careful with each other, aren't they?
Where back in the day, you had to wait for the opportunity to learn about it, or wait until you could go to a library or do something to learn about it. Now, all you need is your little crusty ass fingers. And just like that, you learning. Getting your learn on. Look at this. Black trunks, black boots, man. This shit's never gonna work. Who the fuck puts writing on their gear?
Figure it out. Over the top. Muta. Abdominal stretch. I've seen a lot of people beaten with this. Deep body with an abdominal.
He's not gonna beat him with an abdominal stretch this early in a bout. Abdominal stretch also makes it difficult to breathe, which is more effective when you're already gassed. And you guys just started. Come on, Muta.
Steve reverses. Oh no, but Muta waiting on him with a nice elbow. What I'm noticing here is the respect they have for each other. Nobody's
Great, my ass.
real quick. No one's making bad moves. They're really trying to feel each other out, see what they're about. You know what Muta means?
I want to look up the let's look up the attendance for this show. I'm curious.
Just a couple of words. I don't have time to speak.
What does Wiki say? 12,000, 1,200. So not quite a sellout. I think they could, if they had to, they could pack 17 to 18 in there, right? Into the Rosemount Horizon. Maybe 16. Definitely more than that. So not quite a sellout, but not bad, man. 1994, pre-Hogan, 12,000. Hogan hadn't even gotten there yet, and I think that they were rivaling WWE's attendance.
I brought this up on many occasions. Muta comes to the United States,
They certainly weren't being blown away by it.
and I wonder about the time difference. Well, like I said earlier in the week,
I was not aware that the T-shirt prices had increased so much. Wow.
a one count. You know, we talk about it's about a half a day difference, about a 12-hour difference, I think, between 13 hours, something like that. But Tokyo and the United States, I guess, considering it's Chicago, it is 13 hours. Of course, Gary's 14 hours from Chicago. Peacock, belly to back.
I think WWE would make just as much profit almost if they just keep all their shit $20 across the board, T-shirt wise. People buy more.
Of 1993, Star came from Charlotte, North Carolina, defeated the natural Dustin Rhodes in a 2-3-fall match, and then suplex dropped him down on his head. Almost like a break. Look at the acceleration on a Muta. That's how you can tell when an athlete is geared. Side headlock takeover. Boy,
I can't. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Even my merch is expensive on the store that I use. I've got it down to the lowest setting to where I make the least amount of profit possible on those shirts, and they're still pretty high. But that's the price you pay for me not having to handle the merch. I can have just another, just use one of those and takes the work away. I'd rather just have it available to you guys to buy rather than make a profit off it.
Give me a break. Oh, I'm not got time to show you, but take my word for it. I forget that. But he's not bad. His leaps came up pretty good. I thought he'd be faster or slower. Man, he's good.
So fucking fun to watch. 30 years ago, man. Oh, I was such a little shit. Just starting to figure out life.
This is the second of 4 title matches.
Getting paychecks, paying taxes, that type of thing.
Still holding on that side headlock. Colonel wiping the brow on the far side. He's very concerned. Oh, he has an investment.
Nice shoulder tackle. Ooh, that's so nice.
He rolls out of the way.
Nice.
What a move.
What is Muta doing there? Was he mocking him or was he legit stumbling there?
Stunning Steve with a great counter. Muta hit him with a couple of great moves that time, but still stunning Steve back on top.
I don't even know, honestly, in all my years, because I've never been in the ring, and any conversations I've ever had with wrestlers, I've never really talked about this. I don't know how the communication works when, I'm sure Muta probably speaks some English, but in certain situations where there's very little English to be spoke, how do you communicate? I mean, or unless it's just very simple, slam, body slam, clothesline, learn the American names for the moves or something. I don't know how the communication works if there's a complete barrier.
Two ambulances parked behind the Rosemont Horizon. I don't know who they're for. I can imagine. There are 4 guys. One obviously would be Cactus guy. I think he's going too. Well,
Phantom off.
escape the head scissors.
Austin, that hair, man. That's definitely some 1994 hair. Around that time, I was trying to do like a part or so. That's why I love being bald. I never had good hair. My hair sucked. Hated my hair so much, especially when it was short. I just couldn't style it right. It didn't have the right thickness to it or something. I was jealous of a lot of my other friends' hair. I'm like, oh, they got better hair than me.
Slowing this pace down. Back to the neutral position. Hooks the tights. Well, he has to dictate the pace. He's the champion. Over the top rope.
Oh, nice reversal. This is so good. I love that Neville is out there for this whole thing. He sang the national anthem. He's got to sit at ringside for this?
Oh my God. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Heck of a song. Boy, can you belt one out.
Bobby's like trolling Neville now.
As Muta clamps on the hammerlock and pulls the left
The man that dermatology forgot. Okay, I'll stop. That was bad. That was not. That was uncalled for. Uncalled for, Greg.
Are you sure he's not using
I mean, he was just sitting there,
my good buddy Aaron? Yeah.
It's my good buddy. It's my good buddy Aaron. I hope Aaron pops you. He looks like he's in tremendous shape.
Meanwhile, back in the ring. He's watching. Well, really me. I come to feel that he's an out-of-pounder. Side headlock. There's only one brain, huh? All you need. Over the top. Colonel got the leg. He caught the leg of the great Muta.
Yeah, see, I can understand maybe universal terms for spots and moves. In a 1994 style match, how the fuck did Sami Zayn and Shinsuke do their shit in NXT? Like some of these complex matches nowadays and stuff.
That's the kind of a minute Park Ridge. Yeah, boy. Took his own handkerchief out of his pocket and tried to
A lot of that too is just probably a lot of instincts too.
clubbing forearm shot. Colonel, defense. A good defense. Are you coaching again here from the ringside position? No, I'm just talking to my buddy the Colonel. Muta still on the outside.
Yeah, I definitely remember being butthurt just hearing Bobby's voice and stuff on WCW. It was like I'd be going through it harder. I was about to go through it hard in a few months when Savage would leave. But like Gene and Bobby and Savage, those are the 3 ones that really worked me over good as a fan. Come on, Muta.
Muta trying to get back in. He's in finally. How much does he speak English? He speaks a little bit. Does he understand the count? Does he understand the disqualification? Does he understand all that? Of course. I mean, he has wrestled in this country before. He won Battle Bowl.
Yeah, Battle Bowl.
I know, but does he understand? Yes, he understands.
It's amazing that he just retired. Isn't that nuts?
How can you not be a champion and not understand how can you be a champion and not understand the rules?
The fact that these Austin and Muta have both wrestled a match in the last 2 years is crazy.
Very simple, but I don't have time to explain it to you now. Ever since Colonel grabbed the leg of Muta about 5 minutes ago, it's been all stunning Steve. Do you see any company here?
I mean, it's completely unrelated, but I mean, I can sort of understand, you know, when you do something as a job for a living and the intuition that you develop, you know, with your experience. Like, my entire kitchen is Mexican guys, and I don't speak Spanish very well, but I do know what they're saying, you know, and if I need something, there's a real quick communication and understanding that they know what I need. I know what, you know, they know what I need and I know what they need type of thing. It's hard to, you know, imagine, you know, even if you're just kind of signing something. Yeah, I need some of this or whatever. And I can, you know, speak, you know, basic Spanish and I can communicate basic stuff to them, but I can't speak it fluently. Yet if they're talking to each other, I kind of know what they're saying. It's weird. It's weird. I think if I just wind up living here the rest of my life, I'll wind up just fully learning the language.
This is what Stunning Steve tried earlier, the abdominal stretch, when he countered Muta. That takes a lot out of you. It doesn't look that dangerous a move, but it turns your whole spine. Plus, it's hard to breathe like that. Here, get up. Let me show you. Let me stop that. No, let me call the match. Hold on.
Come on, Muta. Right, yeah, Juliet. And I think that's going to be like that with everyone, you know? If you're going to travel internationally and go work in Mexico, go work in Japan, then it's going to be your job to know the basic names for the moves there, just for basic communication. I think that's the job of being a professional, regardless of where you're from, to where you, when you hit other countries and other territories, you know, you can at least communicate somewhat, I'm guessing, but... Nice. Oh! Like, because right there, that had to be communicated that Muta was going to miss that drop kick. You know what I mean? Because if he was going to hit it, he wouldn't have landed it flat on his back like that. That'd be a fun match for an indie event. I saw a clip recently of Trent and Chuck's 60-second Iron Man match that they had a while back. If they did one where you had two wrestlers who spoke opposite languages or different languages, and they stopped in the match and brought out their phones and got their translators out to plan their next spot, and then they look at their phones like, okay, and then they go to the next spot. And then when they finish that move, they get their phones out again and do the next thing and do that for the whole match. I don't know, it might be fun. Throw a blow-up doll in there, too. Have a party. There's no rules on indie shows. Do what you want. All right, Muta on the offensive here. Jesus. I legit don't know who wins this match, which is great. Oh. I mean, Austin would still remain for about another year, I think, before finally getting out of there. So he's not quite gone yet, so I feel like Austin will probably retain here. Oh, another miss by Muta.
And a big nobody home on that one. And I believe Colonel Parker bringing those other Japanese wrestlers here help stunning Steve Austin a lot. It seems he anticipates the move. He's going for the Hollywood and Vine. The inside toe hold. I don't think he's got it.
That's what he called it? The Hollywood and Vine? Didn't Austin say he didn't know no submission holds during the I Quit match with Brett? Why didn't he just, or the submission match, why didn't he just use the Hollywood and Vine? Oh! Austin took a lot of stun guns. Threw him and took him. Crowd's loving it. I will say this, I do remember the Southern wrestling crowd do appreciating Muta. They did. They liked him. Kids at school would talk about him. Oh. Look at the crowd. Look, Chicago's into it, man. Now they're starting to Chicago. Oh. Parker took one down. Look out. Oh my God, what a bump. Oh, the bell. I forgot, that's still the rule in 94. Does that last forever? When do they get rid of that? Oh, over the top rope disqualification. Imagine if that was a rule now. What a crock of shit, that sneaky Austin. Yeah, the way he locked his legs like that on that Hurricane Rana was awesome.
What he should have done is cover stunning Steve Austin. He might have become United States champion. Look at this. That was a right call. Over the top rope disqualification. What could he do? Your winner by disqualification is still the U.S. champ. The stunning Steve Muta was not finished. What a sensational effort by the Japanese superstar here in Chicago at Spring Stampede.
Chicago.
Standing by now, the dressing room for this interview. Everybody, Jesse the Body Ventura back here in the dressing room. I'll be talking to Dustin Rhodes in just a moment. What a match
Dustin, Texas.
Steve Austin and the great Muta for that U.S. heavyweight title. I'm sure we haven't seen the last of that one, but now it's time to move on to the future. And the future is just a couple of matches away.
Dustin, bro, those jeans.
Bunkhouse Buck in a bunkhouse matchup now. To me, that means it's just a street fight. It ain't wrestling.
The fuck is a bunkhouse? What are you doing in a bunkhouse? Bunk stuff? What you bunking in there? Like bunk beds? I mean, if you put bunk beds in a house, you will have way more room for activities. Everyone knows that. But other than that, I don't know what a bunkhouse is.
Tonight, just a few matches away, it's you and me. There's a big difference in the T in Tennessee and the T in Texas. In the T in Texas, the natural Dustin Rhodes, 260 pounds, is going to get your possum, that coon butt, out of that drink. And I'm going to get you down there and I'm going to kick your tail like it ain't never been kicked today. Well, there you got it. Dustin Rhodes looks
okay.
Let's go to Michael Buffer up at ringside.
Dustin's still figuring it out. Oh, Rick Rude and Sting. Is this the match, guys? This isn't the match, is it? This might be the match. What's the match that injures Rude? Is it this one? It's this one, isn't it? It's got to be. Because I don't remember Rude there by the time Hogan got there. They had some talent in 94, even without Hogan. They got a roster on them here, man. Still had Flair and Sting. Still had Cactus. Still had Vader. Austin. He's a man called Sting. Oh, yeah, Bart Simpson. I remember when he came out.
Here at the Rosemont Horizon, and a shot of becoming the WCW International World Champion.
Oh, Slamboree? Oh, okay. All right, so it's soon, just not yet. This music's awesome. Better than the network edit they did for his WWE theme. Yeah, because I know by the time Hogan was there was no Rude to be found. I'm curious, like, imagine if he wouldn't have gotten hurt. So what happens between now and Hogan's match with Flair at Bash at the Beach? Flair gets his hands on that title, right? Because Hogan beats him for it. So what happens here? I'm guessing Sting wins the title and then Flair beats Sting? Oh, that music's horrible. That belt looks so good on him, though. The big gold on Rude, my God.
What I'd like to have right now is for all you fat, out of... Wait a minute. Here's Harley Race.
Harley Race is here?
Harley Race has interrupted the Ravishing Rick Rude.
Two former members of the Heenan family here.
What I'm doing out here, I'm here on behalf of Vader.
Okay, Vader.
Whatever the outcome of this match, whether it be you, Rude, or you, Sting, Vader
Look at
wants
Pee Wee Anderson.
winner.
Okay, so Vader's gonna get the winner of this? Y'all got a lot of shit to do before June. Oh, look at Sting just gonna beat up Harley Race. Okay. Look at Harley take the bump. Holy crap. And we're off. Oh my God. Oh my. Sting and Rude. Oh my God, what a start. Jesus Christ. Crowd loves that. Oh, he's coming right after him too. Yeah, Chicago's always just been a great wrestling town. They've had a good WWE stronghold, but they always appreciated the NWA and WCW. They've had some big shows in Chicago.
But he's made his challenge. Rude and Sting have to hit Harley. All Harley do is turn him around to make sure
It's one of the big cities first that Crockett first went to after, you know, branching out of his territory.
grabbed him. He had the arm cocked back. He was holding his hand back. He said, please make us the next contender. That's what he did. Into the top turnbuckle.
It's crazy that Rude's had championship matches with Warrior and Sting.
Mr. Bunkhouse probably can see him in the bottom part of your screen there on that last shot. Don't start talking to him. He'll never shut up.
Yeah, and that's crazy that Bockwinkel was also there as the commissioner as Hogan was coming in too, with all their fucking history. It's nuts, man.
I know that.
They had some pretty crazy history about 11 years earlier.
Sting and Rude. I'll tell you what, the Stinger
Oh, I need another cold one. I'll be right back.
on their feet here. But what an unfair advantage. He attacked. Ravishing Rick Rude. He didn't even have a chance to take it. Roll off. That dropped him, I would say, 10, 12 feet in the air. Knocked him over the top rope. Suplexed him on the floor. After punching Harley Race in the mouth, who I had, did nothing but issue a challenge. Poor Sting's doing all right. He sucker punched everybody in the building except you and me. And the
Hey, happy Sunday to you too, Mohammed. Thanks to anybody that's tuning in here, taking a break from playoffs or whatnot. Hope your teams are winning. Mine aren't. I kind of lost track of how that title went. Like after Flair went to WWE with the title, their championship shit got weird. And so the international title and the WCW title eventually became one and the same, right? Is there a WCW title right now? Maybe that's what happens. Maybe Flair's got that one. Maybe there's unification that's coming up. I don't fucking know. Oh, there we go. We Are Pro Wrestling. Flair wins the unification June at Clash. Okay. And then what? The next month is Bash at the Beach, right? Crazy. That all happened so fast.
No offense so far. Well, you're right. It's been all Sting. It's been since I guess you can call it a surprise attack, but
Crazy that this is just the last couple of weeks of Rick Rude's career. Last few weeks, anyway. And he'd only be alive for 5 more years. Nice. Crowd's wooing.
see, when you hook a man's head in there like that, instead of hooking your hands together and putting pressure, hold him as hard as you can with that one arm.
I thought Rick Rude's boots said Gimpy. I'm like, why does he have Gimpy? It's simply ravishing. I'm like, Gimpy? It's like, who's he talking about? Oh, and took him out. Yeah, so Flair must be the WCW champion right now because didn't he beat Vader for it at Starrcade 93, right? So that would have been like 4 months before this. I'm guessing he's still the champion, and then he wins that unification, like We Are Pro Wrestling said in at the Clash. And I'm guessing that would be the end of that other stupid belt, and they would just keep the big gold, and that's what they would run with. And I'm pretty sure a lot of that was caused by Ric Flair leaving with the big gold to WWE. He did some damage to them. Yeah, see, Bobby just called him WCW champion by accident. So this is kind of like the early days of having 2 world titles, isn't it? It's kind of weird. It's like the Universal and the WWE title. I like that Rude in WCW's hairy chest and WWE not hairy chest. I just really like that he separates his career like that for us. It was nice. It's nice. I've always said, I've mentioned this on podcasts. I remember bringing it up maybe 10, 12 years ago for the first time. Who do you think would win in a shoot? Rick Rude or Scott Hall? Like prime.
branches Sting's very tough at what he does, and he's a tremendous competitor. If you like to cheap shot people, which I don't mind sometimes.
What, Mohammed, what are you talking about? I was here yesterday for the podcast. It's available right now. Latest content right at the top of my page. Can't miss it. Hasn't gone anywhere. No update needed. Rude, but all had charisma. Well, charisma ain't gonna help you in a shoot. God, he's such good shape. Rude, they were both bad motherfuckers. I wouldn't mess with Scott Hall. He was tough too. He wasn't scared of nobody. But Rude had that rep as a super tough guy. I'd probably take Rude too, but I don't think it would be like a blowout or anything. I think Hall might be slightly stronger.
Obviously, with the strength of Rude pushing down the back, it would be very difficult to get up. That's why you always have to carry a half count.
Look at these crazy Chicagoans. Chicagans. I don't know what they're called. Nope. Oh. Fucking legends, man. Legends. I mean, I just wish we could have seen Rick Rude versus Sting at SummerSlam, you know? Like, oh my God. I can swivel my hips. I cannot swivel my hips like Rick Rude. Only Elizabeth gets to see my poor attempts at shaking my thing, my booty, my package. It ain't pretty. He broke the hold. He on purpose? God, he's in such good shape. Jesus Christ, Rude. That was kind of stupid, though. Title's on the line here, bro. Yeah, Hall killed a guy and Rude had pistols in his trunk. Shit, anything could happen in that. Oh, yeah, Sting. Give me some more. Rude's like, okay, I'm gonna leave. Oh, they pulled that. He'd love to show his ass. Oh! Almost got a little bit more. Oh, God, Rude's gonna bump hard here on the backdrop, isn't he? Nope. Atomic drop. Inverter. Jesus. It's probably so much better and more fun to sell for Sting than it was for Warrior. Pull your pants up, dude. Want some flowers for that vase? Oh! Oh, complete flip on the backdrop. Yeah. Oh. Look at that. He's pulling Pee-wee. You got the sharpshooter on him. Oh, Harley's back. Got taken out by Sting's gonna work over Harley some more. Oh, here comes Vader too. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay, I think I see what happens here. That's right, because Sting doesn't win the title. Rude has to relinquish it due to injury. Oh. Crazy good match. Rude might be bleeding. He's going for the Rude Awakening. Is it called the Rude Awakening in WCW? Oh no, here comes Vader. Look at Bockwinkel. Don't you dare. Bobby and Bockwinkel. That's so crazy. Bobby and Bockwinkel back together. So cool. God, there's a lot of blood in the ring. Jesus Christ. Rude definitely got busted open. Oh. No way. Oh, he is going to win it. Oh. And Sting wins. All right, Sting wins. Where's my chair? Okay, so Rude wins it back. Rude's going to win. I was about to say, I know he relinquished the title, so what the fuck is going on? Okay, so Rude wins this title back on May 1st in Japan. That's where he gets hurt. Then he forfeits it at Slamboree. The same night, Sting wins it. And then in June, they unify it at the Clash. And that's the end of that championship. Or at least the name of that championship. And they keep the big gold. Okay. This is horrible. All right. Look at Neville over there. I just call him Neville. I think it's funny. That was a great match. That was just a match between two fucking legends, bro. Sting and Rude.
Vader still has the match against the boss. We still have the championship match with Flair and Steamboat. And the question is, snap your fingers at me. I just want to try to wake up the question. We have to, as they're still trying to help Rude out with questions, we have to answer.
They're still trying to help Rude out. Yeah, fucking Rude and Steamboat and some talent in that locker room, man. God, he's a mess. He got his nose or something busted there. There's a lot of blood on Sting, a lot of blood on the mat. What are you doing, Bobby?
Yeah, I see a bunch of humanoids. No Mr. Hogan.
No. Oh, see? Hogan. All right, they're already talking about him. Okay, that's interesting. Greatest promoter on the history of the earth? Is that what they said? Get out of here. KFC crowd, or sign in the crowd for some reason. Oh, just 3 different letters, KFC. And now there's a KFC bucket in the crowd. Was there a partnership here I don't know about? Or do they think that Bunkhouse Buck raises the chickens that they use at KFC? I don't know what the connection is. All right, so this is Dustin Rhodes and Bunkhouse Buck in a bunkhouse match. You can get their bunk on. Oh my, look at Dustin go. Okay, never mind. I was about to shit all over this match. This is great. Dustin is not playing games. The suspenders is the hilarious part to me. I have never once ever worn a pair of suspenders. I don't know what they feel like to wear. There's a belt that holds up my pants, but belt loops that hold up my belt. Who is the real hero? Mitch Hedberg. Oh yeah, okay. He was wearing, oh yeah, I should have, duh. I forgot that he does look like Colonel Sanders with that bullshit he's wearing. See, to me, like, I guess he does. He reminded me, too, of, Boss Hogg from, Dukes of Hazzard. When I was a little kid, I was obsessed with Dukes of Hazzard. I watched it. I had the little car and everything. I wanted that car so bad. Generally. And then I got, like, a bigger version of it, toy, and oh, my God. That was a good year there where I was full-blown obsessed. Maybe ages 4 to 5. And then I discovered wrestling. It is weird to have this match on the same card as the Nasties one because, like, Cactus, all that shit he did, and they were brawling all over the place, so it's a good full card, though. I'm not going to criticize it because there's a lot of matches on this card. There's a shit ton of talent on this card. We've already had a couple of bangers. WCW was all right, man. I think I was unfair to it at times. I think sometimes I was completely fair. But other times that maybe I let my tribal flag fly a little too much. Which I'm glad I'm like that, not like that now. Maybe back in those days I was. And I think that's why I tend to lecture so many fans, because I'm like, take it from someone who knows. You're going to be more concerned with your tribalism and your arguing, and you're going to wind up robbing yourself of watching good shit or enjoying stuff because you're more focused on not enjoying stuff. And that's no way to fucking live. And I'm proving myself right when I'm watching these old WCW shows and I'm thinking how I was back then. I'm like, man, I should have given this more of a chance. It's fucking great to watch this stuff now. Oh, Dustin's busted open. Well, that was that whatever that piece of wood was broke. Splintered. Buckstort. I remember being creeped out by, for some reason, I'd already seen plenty of blood in wrestling, but by the time Dustin came into WWE in like 91 or whenever that was, and he got attacked by the $1 Million Man and they like hit him in the head with a wooden chair and he was bleeding. I guess it was just his blonde hair, but it was, oh, Dustin loved that bump. Some of that blood and the blonde hair like really spooked me for some reason. Like it scared me, or I got just a little bit like, holy shit. But I had seen blood before. Didn't bother me when I was on Hogan or anybody else. I saw a ton of it in the magazines, but it was just seeing that live unfold on TV. It was like graphic, and I think it was because of the blood contrast with the white hair or something. And then about a year later, Flair would do it at WrestleMania 8, but it didn't freak me out nearly as much. Look at, oh, he's busted wide open. Holy shit. I mean, I'm assuming Dustin wins this. Bunkhouse Buck never won shit that I remember. Yeah, unfortunately, Serge, I was a little too young to appreciate Daisy Duke. But I do now. You know who comes into my restaurant all the time? lives in the area, is Debbie Dunning. She was the second, not what Tool Time. What's that fucking show? Home Improvement. You know, Pamela Anderson was like the Tool Time girl, and then she was replaced by the next one, who was a beautiful woman, kind of looked like Kimberly a little bit. And she's in all the time. She like lives hop, skipping, and jumping away. Does not look quite like herself anymore. A little bit. I didn't recognize her when she first started coming in. Somebody pointed her out to me, and I'm like, holy shit, that is her. She's been coming here all this time. I never knew that was her. But she's cool. She's very nice. Bunkhouse Buck. He always wrestled in them long johns. God damn, he's just dripping blood. Is that flash paper? I feel like that's flash paper. Yeah, there's too much going on. Nope. Oh, no, it's just powder. Okay. I thought he was trying to get out a lighter. Oh, I wasn't that unfair to WCW Daniel Clark. I still bought pay-per-views and shit. I did. I would watch them. I still preferred WWE in the war, but I wasn't as ridiculous as I think some of the tribalism is now. It definitely existed in me, but not to any sort of totally insane degree. I was maybe just a touch irrational now and then, not full-blown insane like they are now. Oh, God, he's got the buckle.
And the buckle to the forehead. How much more can the youngster take?
The youngster.
Of courage in Dustin Rhodes. You know, Dusty's down at the range. He's pacing back and forth. He wishes he could be in there just to help him.
Have we yet to see, has WWE to this day ever done a ramp to the ring? They've never done that, right? I think it might have been cool, like if Monday Night Raw, instead of the steel ramp that goes down, slopes down, if it was just straight to the ring, that whole thing is the whole rampway is steel. Might have been a fun setup. Lots of things you could do with that. Couldn't drive any beer trucks in, but I mean, maybe they kind of did it during the Performance Center pandemic, maybe. Jesus, Parker is so loud out there. I'm like, why are all these KFC buckets in the crowd? And then like, oh yeah, Colonel Sanders. Okay. Does that belt say Mama Rhodes? It might. Okay, NXT did it. Okay, so they've tried it. Yeah, ECW did it. I mean, in a way, I liked that. I liked it because I liked the ramp to the ring setup, so it was cool that kind of forced me to go elsewhere if I wanted to see that, or if it was a different aspect of a different show that I liked and appreciated that it was unique and something I wasn't used to on my standard WWE wrestling, you know? Even though when I was young, I knew who people were. I wasn't dumb. I was a pretty educated fan for my age. Oh, good shot. I was plenty naive, but I was also plenty aware. Look at that. And I credit mostly the magazines, man. That's where I got my education. Oh my God. Those are good shots, though, aren't they? I feel like that's going to bust open Bunkhouse. Yeah, I think he already is. Oh, the boot's off now. Ooh, smelly feet. Oh, he's gonna smash his face with a boot? Ouch. Jesus Christ. Remember in The Departed where Jack Nicholson, like, slams the boot on Leo's arm? Oh, that was rough, too. I feel like Dustin's got to put him away here. Oh, there you go. Oh, Lord. Oh. This is horrible.
Look at the rears like a plane crash. There's boots. There's bounce. There's blood. There's bodies. Look at this. This is blood and guts old time stuff right here, boys.
Oh.
This is the way I like it. This is the way I was raised in this great sport. You get out there and you use whatever you can. You hit a man with anything. You bust somebody open. Big deal. I like this brand of wrestling. Buck digging in his pocket for something, huh?
Look out.
Well, Dustin in his pocket got out that leaf of hers. He has loaded that glove of his. He's loaded the glove.
Missed.
Atomic drop from the natural. Hit him with the glove. Something is still apparently in the glove. That glove's as loaded as Lester Brooks.
I appreciate this match being able to be good on a show that's already had one hardcore match with a lot of hardcore shit happen. And the previous match was Sting and Rick Rude, which was also a little bit bloody, but also really, really good, that the fans were totally invested in. And the fact that they're holding them here. And plus, back in these days, you have to remember, ain't nobody on their phones. Not one single soul has got any shit in their hand that they're staring at. They're watching the ring, they're watching the match, they're reacting. It was different. Whip the Colonel. Hit him with the 11 herbs and spices. He's got him, no way. Who's old enough to remember the KFC nuggets, like the chicken McNuggets? Not some popcorn shit or chicken strips or chicken bites or anything they might have now. None of that. Like actual, like McDonald's-shaped chicken nuggets with like a really nice breading, like probably had the herbs and spices. And they were so tasty, and they had a little bit of, not kick, but some spices on them. I ate them as a kid and dipped them in honey. They were fucking delicious. And I don't remember them past like the mid-90s. And they've been gone ever since. But they were good. Now everything's like chicken bites or strips or chunks or whatever the fuck. But like the chicken nuggets. They were shaped like a chicken McNugget, but just completely different breading than McDonald's. Oh, he's got him. He's got it. What was that? He beats him. I thought for sure Dustin was going to own this one. Bunkhouse Buck doesn't win. Okay. So explain to me why he had to hide that from the referee. Yeah, well, he didn't have to hide it. He could use them. Right? You can't get disqualified in this, I don't think. I wasn't paying attention to the referee if he was calling for breaks in the ropes and shit, but if it's a bunkhouse match, that felt like it was an anything goes match, so why the hell would you hide your knucks?
legal. They agreed to the rules. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, see?
It's tape. I don't know what's in it, but watch this.
Boom. Down goes Dustin.
This is a Bunkhouse match.
Heenan loves it. Heenan is cracking up. Heenan thinks this is fucking hysterical. I'm happy Heenan's happy. If Heenan's happy, I'm happy. I am an honorary member of the Heenan family. A lot of people don't know that. I'm an honorary member of the Heenan family. That honor was bestowed upon me by myself. I just decided I was one. God, look at the blood. Jesus. That's the winner of the Jesse the Body Award right there. God, he is a mess. Look at this. Oh, look at these guys getting in the Nasties are there. Regal. Stop. Look, oh my God, Sags in a bath towel. I can't. I can't. Oh, I can't. Stop. Too much naked Sags. Oh, God. Yeah, I can see why you wrestle with a shirt on, Sags. Oh my God. Christ. You want to go? Thanks for the $2, Mike. You want to go to Bucksnort, Tennessee? Yeah, I'll go there. I'll go there. I'll stop there for a beer. Give me your best Bucksnort local brew. Okay. Oh yeah, he breaks the chains. This is the Savage or the Hogan and Piper cage? Kind of. Right on the knee. So he wrestled with this boss gimmick for a while, huh?
The animosity between Vader and the boss has been there for months now. As a matter of fact, for 2 months. And finally tonight, these two of the biggest in WCW, get to go one-on-one. Get to go one-on-one. I know. I don't want to talk to you. You mind? Let's go to the ring.
Bobby, why did you leave WWE, man? Made me so fucking sad. The gigantic grudge match. The Boss. I don't know why I thought the Boss was super duper short-lived, like an hour and a half. I didn't know he went months with this gimmick. Same outfit. The Boss just took away Big and Man, and now he's just the Boss. Now it's navy blue instead of powder blue, which is probably would have been the smarter choice the entire time. The music. The music is horrible. Listen to this. It's like WCW spent no money on some music and actually worked for some others. Gigantic grudge match. Harley's had a long night. And it was funny too, like when Rude left WWE, he was just about to start a feud with the Boss Man. They had just kicked it off. And then Rude got fired. So it was funny to see him here in WCW together. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God, Harley. Oh, what a bump Harley took. Holy shit. Yeah, is that what they said? Did he say 450, Jordan? Is that what, is it David Penzer? Or is it Capetta? Who's out there? I think it's Penzer. No, it's Capetta. It's probably Capetta. Ooh, Jesus.
Wind up anyway. Now the bell sounds, and here we go. The grudge match is officially on.
It's officially on, bros.
To the kiss.
Making sure my timer's still... Oh, yeah, it's my timer's perfect.
When's the last time you saw two big men like this in there? One-on-one. You got close to 800 pounds in there, Tony. Back on lead. Rampway again. Vader firing back on the boss.
Oh.
Big forearm shots.
Ugh. Big one.
And the boss is down. Both men over 300. Vader over 400. What I just said, close to 800 pounds. You do your math?
Hmm.
Well, this boss is the man that cost Vader the
Oh.
championship of the world. Uh-oh. What is Vader going to try here? I don't know, but I can't wait to see it. It's Air Vader. Taking off Mohair.
Oh, God, Vader. Crash and burn. He tried to launch himself over the top rope.
But he stopped the big guy, puts it
And if they're billing him at 450, I don't think so.
I'm surprised. I thought the boss man would
Yuri Lover, Vader was there through mid-95.
get played for his
Then he was out.
He's fighting. He's out there hitting Vader around. He's just going to make
Or mid to late 95, I should say. Whoa.
just drove him over to the floor. Vader on the floor. Into the fans. Vader is hurt.
Yeah, he's bleeding, I think, from the mouth. A lot of people bleeding in this one tonight.
He's picking him up.
Wow. Oh! That's got to be rough.
Vader has found somebody in this grudge match that will not back down. That goes after Vader just like Vader goes after him. Tony racing.
Yeah, I feel like he got busted open when he took that spill over the barricade.
The former corrections officer.
D85, I think everybody's always said that WWE misused Vader.
He's got Vader in trouble. Vader's hurt.
I would have liked to see where it would have gone had Shawn not affected Vader's run. Like if they would have gone through with the plans and Vader won the title at Survivor Series instead of Sid, might have been cool. But they landed on their feet with that. I loved that brief little period of Psycho Sid there where he was kind of over and the fans were into him. I actually liked that. So that worked out just fine. But it still would have been interesting to see, you know, how they would have made Vader as one of their former world champions, and he never got there.
Now he's coming back a little. Showing a little signs of life now. Vader, for most of
Vader and the Boss Man. Crazy match.
headbutt.
Hmm.
Was the world champ right at the end of the year, losing to Ric Flair.
Oh my God. That is so scary. Whew.
His life by hooking the top rope. I don't think he did it purposely. I think it was an accident. Even Vader could hit.
How Harley Race is going to put it to
He backdropped him out of the ring,
Boss Man.
and the referee didn't see it. That makes it okay.
That makes it okay. Oh, Vader. Oh my God. Now we got a bloody eye and a bloody mouth.
We're going discussing things with Harley Race here at ringside.
I think Boss Man might have caught Vader when he was backdropping him. He might have caught him with a hand or nail or something right to his eye. Jesus. Rude and Vader both got busted up bad tonight.
Boss, Vader.
Ugh. God, his eye is Jesus Christ. This would happen to him at the Final Four, remember? Vader got busted open like crazy. God, there's blood. Even the referee's got blood all over his shirt because he's rolling around in the blood on the mat. God damn.
They're both moving at a slower pace. They're hurt. They're hurt, Tony. Now remember, what we saw earlier on in the Bunkhouse match does not apply to this match. They got a break.
Jesus.
Boss missed with that one. Vader did not. Squarely planted on the boss. It's amazing these two men can stand. Well, these are superhuman athletes.
Oh.
There was such a thing as a super heavyweight division in WCW. These two would be at the top of the list. They wouldn't be in it. They're too big.
Jesus, Vader. God, I wouldn't want to have all that blood up near my eye like that. God damn.
And now,
His fucking eye popped out in that one match, didn't it? Yeah, Vader's eyes pop out, and Cactus Jack's ears come flying off. Half of Sid's legs breaks off and flies into the third row. Man, wrestling's dangerous, man.
they're in such bad shape right now, they don't even know to cover a man. They just want to get in there and pound on each other. Yeah, they're hurting. The foot caught Boss in the jaw. And that was one powerful clothesline. He hauled off, came in an uppercut trajectory that time, and just knocked him out of his boots. Where's he going?
Oh, God. On his shoulder, too. Jeez. Yeah.
I'm glad I'm done.
I'm glad I'm done. God, that's a rough landing for him.
Be ready to move. They may fall this way.
Jesus.
Out of a DDT from the middle turnbuckle into cover. 1, 2. Vader gets up. Vader got up in 2. Well, you're going to have to knock him out. He doesn't give up. He's not a quitter. You can't pin
Sean had a ton of value to WWE in those days, but he wasn't any more popular than a lot of the top stars. And, you know, when he had that run in 96, they were struggling at that time, man.
down goes Vader again.
People appreciated him. He was over and shit, but
He is hooked onto the rope. The bottom rope. The arm got there.
I've always thought
Boss again.
something happened between Sean and Vince that's private between them that we'll never know about.
I can see the way he was watching. Harley Race.
Let your mind run wild on that one.
That's how valuable that man Harley Race is. 7-time champion. Power slammed him over the top.
Oh,
Vader's dragging him to a corner. This means something to
Vader bomb. Was it the Vader bomb back then, or was he calling something else? He hit it.
450 down. 2.
And I had a feeling he was a kick out. Vader was talking to him a bit.
Incredible. Well, Vader's on top now. Vader knows exactly what to do in there. Yeah, do it again. That's what he's going to do in there. How's it feel, boss? You got beaten up to a 100-pound pup now in jail. Around 2 o'clock in the
Oh,
morning.
God.
Man, look at this.
Now the moonsault. He's not quite in position, I don't think. Oh, yeah, he is. Oh. Whack. And he beat him. Crowd seemed to be happy about it.
The winner of the grudge match is Vader.
Vader wins the grudge match.
Well, that's it for the boss. Harley Race has the nightstick. Harley Race has the handcuffs. And Vader wins it with the moonsault from the top. Look, the boss man doesn't even know he's being handcuffed. He's out of it. Oh, yeah, he does. He's got the nightstick. Oh, he got him good behind here. Oh, stop it.
Poor Harley. Now he's getting nightsticked. Oh, my God. Billy Club to the ribs. Is this what leads to him shedding this boss gimmick? Harley on the ground. Crazy. Wow. Bloody Vader. You're the man, Vader. Nobody's doubting you, man. Oh, God, he came down so flat on him, too. Fucking one with a moonsault.
All right, let's go now. Oh, we're out of breath. You don't understand it. Let's go to Mean Gene Okerlund. All right, Tony, hopefully you and Bobby Heenan can sort all of it out. We do have a brand new international heavyweight champion. Sting, of course, crowned earlier tonight. Victorious over Ravishing Rick Rude.
Is Mean Gene going to do an interview?
Sting will be live on the hotline.
Oh, the hotline, of course.
The spring Stampede tonight. So get on the horn and give us a call. You can talk.
Get on the horn.
And don't forget this coming Friday night on the hotline. Teddy Long is going to be live in the house from 8 to 9 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Ladies and gentlemen, the telephone number to call
909-9900.
It should be something else tonight all night long on the hotline.
That's what you had to do. I knew hotlines all too well. When you're thirsty for knowledge and you want to learn shit, you could fall victim to the hotlines. I never called the WCW ones or WWE ones, but I called some of the ones you'd find in the magazines and shit.
Let's get ready for tonight's fantastic main event. Let's get back to the ring. All right. I do understand, though. Is there some commotion going on in the back?
Commotion? It's time for the main event.
I'm sitting right now. I can see a bunch of people running that direction. And there's some photographers going that way, too. There's something going on. Oh, there it is.
Oh, what's going on here?
WCW Commissioner Nick Bockwinkel had some tough matches tonight where the contestants stipulated to the rules before they got into the ring. This was not the scenario tonight. I realize how you feel, and I sympathize with you. But I'm going to tell you right now, you represent a lot of good people, and they do it in a certain way. This is not one of them. I'm taking this away from you right now. I'm taking the handcuffs.
Taking it away from him like he's grounding him?
Okay?
No handcuffs for a week.
As far as I'm concerned, personally, you're no longer the boss.
You're no longer... This is it?
That I sympathize with you, and I know how you feel. There's no two ways. You can't just make this.
So this is what they do? They let the commissioner just say, you can't have this gimmick anymore? That's new.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Bockwinkel taking away the handcuffs, taking away the wand, the baton, and literally stripping the name boss from the boss. Let's go to Michael Buffer.
Because we got threatened to be sued by WWE. All right.
Well, how about that decision? Well, that's just emotion reacting right now. I doubt if he can strip the man of his name or take away the handcuffs and all that, which should be done. The man is a menace and he's dangerous.
So their answer was for him to be the guardian angel, I guess. I remember watching that, not knowing the behind-the-scenes story. I'm like, why the fuck is he called the guardian angel now? It makes no sense. He looks like an idiot.
Right here in Chicago, that Ric Flair came in, the WCW World Heavyweight Champion, and was defeated by the man who is his arch
Ian Dunn, what's up, man? Good to see you.
Steamboat the Dragon. And now, once again, 5 years later, the two
Steamboat in his 1991 WWE gear. That's the same shit. So he's breathing fire here too? Although at least here they're still calling him Ricky Steamboat. And he was just the dragon. All right, going after the championship here. Is this the last match between these two guys? Yeah, so they're talking about Hogan already here. So it's known he's coming in.
Here at the Rosemont Horizon, it'll be a one-fall match for the WCW World Heavyweight title. And the fans kind of split. There are Flair fans and there are Dragon fans here.
Yeah, is this a babyface match? No, it's not, is it?
We've seen a lot here tonight. Wow. We have seen a lot.
Is this when he has like sensuous Sherry with him? Nope, not yet. That robe, man. That's classic. And I saw that Beavis and Butthead sign. Yeah, they were just a few years rolling by this point. I remember when Bart Simpson came out and being like blown away that he was saying like hell. Who the hell are you? Like in a cartoon. I'm like, holy shit. And then Beavis and Butthead came along and then blew my fucking mind. And then South Park came along and blew my mind from there. Look at this crowd. They're on their feet for this one, man. Nice earring, Michael Buffer. He's always looked like Vince McMahon to me, Michael Buffer.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment the world has been waiting for.
Triple threat between Gilbert, good mic work, and James Ellsworth. Who wins? The ladies win. Match like that, they're going to be leaving the arena moist. Oh, yeah.
Introducing first, wearing yellow and black, and weighing in at 234 1/4 pounds, from Charlotte, North Carolina. He's a former world television champion.
They're both from Charlotte, North Carolina.
US heavyweight champion. And 5 years ago, he won the world heavyweight title right here in Chicago.
That's right.
The very man he faces tonight. And tonight, he will try to make
that was a good match in '89 when Steamboat won the title.
the challenger and former heavyweight champion of the world, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Steamboat, he wasn't quite as much as Terry Taylor, but it was funny how many times he bounced back and forth. WWE, WCW, WWE, WCW. Terry Taylor did it like 36 times. Steamboat did it like 4.
Former world television champion. Also, former U.S. heavyweight champion. And he remembers. That world
And he remembers. What if he doesn't remember?
He says history will not be repeated tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the 11th-time world champion and reigning professional wrestling heavyweight champion of the world, the Nation Boy,
All right, let's get rid of that ugly ass belt. It was created because you left. Now you're holding it.
Well, one thing I was thinking about when Michael Buffer was giving all the accolades, I was thinking about what we had seen tonight. As you see, Beth Flair.
Who the fuck is that? Oh, it's Beth Flair. Okay. Flair, what's going on with your hair, man?
I was thinking about we've seen Chicago street fight. They broke apart a souvenir stand here somewhere. The bloody and battered Dustin Vader, Sting, and Rude. But I think what we're going to see is, I know what we're going to see is an entirely different matchup. Two men who know how to keep it in the ring in a straight wrestling match.
All right.
Of all time, you're watching right here, going at it for the world title. And they have the utmost respect for each other.
I feel like this has got to be like one of their last encounter, if not one of their last.
By sliding out of it. Steamboat could not look him in the eye. Did you notice Flair went right up to him after instructions and stared him down? Steamboat turned away and waited for the bell to ring. I guess he doesn't want to play any games. He's just here to wrestle.
Yeah, Mike. I was so shocked when Steamboat lost the Intercontinental title to Honky Tonk Man. I'm like, what the fuck? He just won it. It was like the greatest thing ever. Everybody was talking about it.
Steamboat has always been a fan favorite. He's never been booed, never been a rule breaker. But tonight, he was booed by many fans because
I was just could not believe it. And then he was gone. I don't think I knew until like years later what the story was about him having the kid and wanting time off. And Vince was like, no. And so he dropped the title. But man, I would have tried to get a run with that, man. I'm curious, like, had that not happened and he would have just stuck with WWE, how long his run would have been past WrestleMania 3, if he would have kept it till WrestleMania 4, perhaps, and dropped it. That losing it to Honky was just heart. Ugh. Ugh.
Same thing here. I don't think anybody wants to see Flair lose that title. The man's an institution. And Steamboat do it again. Michael Buffer talked about 5 years ago, right here in Chicago, when Ric Flair lost the world title to
Okay, so they wrestle on a Saturday night. Okay. So there's another one coming.
Well, I will go back even further. When Steamboat first broke into the sport in the late 70s, Ric Flair was the television champion at that time. Steamboat was an unknown. Flair, once again, let his ego get in the way, agreed to face Steamboat for the television title. It was on television. Steamboat won his first title. Well, I remember when he started. I was wrestling in the AWA at that time, and Steamboat went to Vern Gagne's school, and he was highlighted. They swore greatness for this man. They knew he'd be a world champion someday. And even Vern Gagne said it himself. He said, this man will be a world champion in a couple of years. He was.
Oh, almost all the way over.
You're exactly right. He became the world champion in 89.
I mean, looking back, I really did. I mean, WCW 93, 94 was pretty good, especially pre-Hogan. I'd say a year and a half before Hogan got there was a lot of fun shit going on in WCW. I'd say even like dating back to like Wrestle War 92-ish or something. You know, there were some hot crowds and, oh, yeah. That photographer, I swear, looks like Sandra Bullock on the outside of the ring. It's not her, but I keep thinking it's her. Because that's what Sandra would be doing, taking pictures of wrestling.
I mean, this punch, Steamboat, just slapped the 11-time world champion in the face 2 or 3 times. Who does this pineapple punt think he is?
Oh my God, I'm older than Flair was during this match. My God. God, Steamboat was so smooth, man. 94, he still had every bit of it in him. Remember he blew our minds in like 2009 at WrestleMania? We're like, holy shit. And then they booked him in the match with Jericho. It was so good. I'm glad that top rope, it's weird that top rope moves aren't banned, but throwing you over the top rope is. That's stupid ass WCW rules. Come on, Flair. Yeah, Steamboat too. What I liked about him is he was just one of my favorite like athletes. He was just some of those, him and Snuka too, but Steamboat was. I really liked his smooth athleticism. It was like a Shawn Michaels Randy Orton combination with some Bret Hart sprinkled in. That's why him and Savage's matches were so good because Savage was kind of like that too. And as much finesse as Savage had, he didn't even have as much as Steamboat did. I mean, Steamboat was just. Flair slightly clunkier than Savage and Steamboat. But Flair and Steamboat, I still think, had the better rivalry because they had more matches. Steamboat and Savage, their issue was kind of contained within like 8 or 9 months.
Steamboat doesn't want to win this match that way. He wants to win the title. That's why he breaks the count. You're right.
Prime Steamboat and Prime HBK. So many matches like that you can think of. And some that we just, kind of missed. I mean, Shawn was pretty close to Prime here at this time in 94. He just tore the damn house down with Razor at WrestleMania. So that Shawn versus this Steamboat would have been a pretty damn good match in itself. You shave a couple of extra years off Steamboat, even better. Like 89 Steamboat and 95 Shawn.
Didn't he run up the ropes, kick off, and use the rope? Thank you.
Fun shit.
Yes, he did. We don't have to go for Judge Wapner to get a verdict on this one. A lot of talking going on inside the ring, as you can hear, and a lot of intimidating. Flair saying, "You don't have me. You don't have me." And Nick Patrick checking in. They know each other quite well, as a matter of fact.
Oh, God.
Steamboat grabs the side headlock again. Take you back to a press conference that Nick Bockwinkel had when he took Flair out of the world title match at Super Bowl back in February. Who was there with Flair and his family besides Arn Anderson? It was Steamboat, the Dragon. They have been very close friends in the past.
God, the way he drags him over there like that.
They just hang around so Flair will pick up the checks. That's all. They're just mooches. Are you sure of that? Oh, I'm positive. I've been out with him many nights and had a few drinks and a dinner with him.
Bobby.
He's that kind of a guy. He's a fun guy. Well, Ric Flair is that. These other two are leeches.
Bobby has so much history with so many people on this card. Boss Man and Rude and Race, Flair.
Many people have said, is Flair as arrogant? Is Flair as flamboyant? Does Flair have the lifestyle that he always talks about? I said, absolutely. No, you're wrong, Tony. He's a lot more outgoing than he is. That's right, he is.
Flamboyant. I always loved that term. Vince was in love with that term when Shawn was champion. He's the most flamboyant. I'm like, I don't know if a lot of dudes want to be described as flamboyant. Some might. If somebody's describing somebody to me that I haven't met, oh, Greg, you'll love this guy. He's very flamboyant. I'm probably going to be like, yeah. What does that mean? He's really energetic. I don't like that. I don't like high energy. Medium energy is what I need. Just not a word you use in everyday life. So if somebody ever gets described to me that way, I'm like, huh? Is he a wrestler? Or an actor? Oh, yeah. Gorilla Chop. He said anything can happen. Yeah, we know. What a maneuver. Every near fall was a pin. I thought he had him. Yes, Vince, we know you thought he had him. You think every pin, it's the end. What's up, Always Radio? Good to see you. Oh, yeah, and Bockwinkel, who was right there next to him a lot throughout the show tonight.
won it. And if his friend is mad because of it, tough luck. He is doing what he has to do to hold on to his belt.
Mm-hmm. That's true. They keep talking about them statements from Hulk Hogan.
Steamboat has been going back and forth many times. Steamboat goes over the top. Sneaks the count back in. He rolls up Ric Flair. 1, 2. Side takeover again, 2, and
Got to go to a fresh one.
that was the closest one yet. Once again, as anticipated, an entirely different match than we've seen in Spring Stampede. Hey, happily named. It's the spring. They've been just running over people all night. Wow. I mean, Stampede.
Yeah, this card has been surprisingly good. I didn't know it was held here at the Rosemount Horizon. That blows my mind.
We are right outside
I don't know how many events in total WCW ran there.
Rosemount Horizon, right near O'Hare Airport.
But maybe that's why. I mean, later in the year, WWE, remember, they ran United Center here in just a couple months for SummerSlam.
To me, like, Flair is
And then they never ran it again. And WCW started running that.
Steamboat squeeze title.
They went to United Center, and then WWE took back over Rosemount, and that became their building. And WCW, I'm pretty sure, held a couple of Nitros at United Center. I'm not sure if they held any pay-per-views there, though.
Side headlock. Both men are known for endurance and conditioning. Both men are very similar that way. Both men are fundamentally sound. It's been a fundamental match so far. And I wonder, as longer the match goes, let's say it goes to 30 minutes, maybe 45-minute mark, who has the advantage, Brink? I don't.
If I was home, let me see, this would have been a Sunday night in April of 94. I was probably working that night, but if I was home, would have been listening to this on the scrambled feed, most likely.
I was. The advantage goes to Flair. He's got the title.
I'm curious what I was doing at this very moment when Stinger Flair and Steamboat are in the ring right here. I'm curious what I was doing at this very moment. I was either at home or I was either at work. Probably dreading going to school the next day. Fucking hated school. I like that they have the monitors right there.
I've never understood why all Flair's opponents never have gone after Flair's legs. Flair cannot put the figure 4 on you if his wheels are all banged up.
Look at Bobby giving out advice. Here's what you got to do: just go after his legs. That's all you got to do.
Mr. Schiavone. That's why you're the brain. That's why you are one of, if you are the most successful manager in our sport.
Steven, first grade for you, 11th grade for me.
I'm also a legend in this sport. You don't believe me? Ask me. Are you a legend in this sport? Of course. Are you deaf? I just told you I was. Back to the nitwit.
You nitwit.
Flair. Driving the shoulder, and you can see that one coming. I don't think there's a bigger legend any place than that man right there. The nature boy, Ric Flair. Determination on his face as we look up at him right above us. Nick Buckley with us back out here, the WCW commissioner. After stripping the boss of his name and his nightstick.
Oh my God.
Only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. Flair came out at corner knowing Steamboat would back drop him. Then he got up slower than usual, setting Steamboat up for the drop kick. And it worked. It truly is a human chess game.
Oh, good. Here's the Flair chops. There we go.
How would you like to take one across the chest like that? No, thank you.
I mean, this match is going to go pretty long, so they are kind of taking their time here.
Moving Nick Patrick back around him, and Flair getting the fist illegally to the bridge of the nose. He put the referee exactly where he wanted to put him. Here we go, right above us again.
Those close-up camera shots, Flair and Boss Man
Back in the corner, Flair again.
both stop way too far away from the face when they throw their punches. But that's good. That's being safe.
Step nearly over. And Ric Flair. Steamboat firmly planted right in the sea of the WCW. Yes. He's on target with the knee again. I smell pineapple juice.
Mm. 6th grade for you, Gorilla Chop, in 94. Oh, man, I hated 6th grade. Would have been 88 for me. Or 88, 89, I guess.
15 minutes have gone by
Yeah.
in this world title matchup.
The middle school that I went to, because ours was like K through 5, then 6 through 8, then high school. So I went to like middle school, and I was blown away with how big my little brain thought the school was. And I'm like, my fucking classes are like a mile apart, which wasn't the case. They're probably 50 yards apart, but I was being dramatic.
Forcing Flair to push him over to get a pin. He didn't stay down. Flair does it. He gets a 2 for the second time, and now again. 3 straight times the 2 count here. Gotta hook the tights. No. Repeatedly the 2 count.
Damn.
Flair just cannot keep him down here. He's got to use the tights in the rope. Simple. Very simple. Think about it.
Very simple.
He keeps kicking out, pick up something and knock him out. The law of physics.
Oh, man.
There's the cover. There he hooked the leg that time and the head.
I'd like to see like a Ricky Steamboat Will Ospreay match. That'd be some fun shit too.
Talking about conditioning, and you're seeing it right now. 15, maybe 17, 18 minutes in this match, and they're still going out.
Both these guys had that endurance thing about him. Flair's always been commended for his, you know, kind of like a stamina and whatnot, and Steamboat's got a lot of that too. There's Ric Flair. Ric Flair says, "Oh, I wrestled Dusty for an hour every night of the week for 6 years," or something like that. I've wrestled him every wrestler he's wrestled 10,000 times. He's wrestled people more times than there's days that he's been alive. I'm like, I wrestled for an hour every night. No, you didn't. Know for a fact that you didn't, because you can look up in the record books that you did not wrestle for an hour every night. Not even close. So why you lying? It's like how your grandma or grandpa always said they have to walk 6 miles uphill in the snow to get to school. And my grandma literally had a story like that. Although she was one of 9 kids and the only girl. So she had it rough. And did live in Minnesota. And probably had freezing ass fucking cold walks to school in the snow. So she really did have those stories. But I feel like everybody's grandpa has those stories. Oh. I'm like, it wasn't 6 miles. I'd drop out of school if it was 6 miles. Not going to school would be better. Steamboat's gonna fly. He kind of used Bockwinkel as his ropes. He kind of backed up, hit Bockwinkel, who's sitting down. And now he's hanging upside down like a bat, Shivani says. Steamboat just remains there.
Steamboat is so smart. He wants him in that ring. He wants to beat him in that ring. He knows nothing can accomplish on that floor.
Superplex coming here, I think. Yep. Yeah, Mike, I think she did know Greg Gagne because on her way to school, when she would walk to school, she would stop by Vern's barn and take a few bumps before she finished her walk to school.
Steamboat's been bouncing Flair on his body like a rubber ball. If Jordan could dribble like that, he'd still be playing. Uh-oh. Steamboat taking flight.
Yikes.
Ricky Steamboat right now is in command of this match. And the challenger, wanting to become world champion for the second.
Could you imagine going to grade school in the middle of Iowa in the winter in the 50s? Or no, before that, the fucking 20s or the 30s. God damn. Hell no.
Will he be suckered in once again? Once again, Flair inching back to a corner. The master. 20 minutes gone by. 20 minutes. 20 minutes gone by in this world title match. 60 minutes.
Oh my God.
If that bell rings in 60 minutes, they'll still be fighting.
They'll still be fighting.
Anything to do? They got a lot to do. We don't know her though.
I got a lot to do. You don't know her though. Bobby here. Glazer, I barely know her.
Repeated backhand shot from the Dragon.
Oh. Look out, Nick Patrick. Oh, I love that. I love when Flair takes the extra back step before he does the face bump. Classic.
Out goes Ricky Steamboat. But he's back in. Look at this endurance. Steamboat at the top of his game this night. He's ready. He wants it bad. The human chess game continues.
Ugh.
Flair gets the next move.
Is he going to the... Yeah, are you going to go to the top for real? No, he's not.
His endurance.
Oh, nice block by Steamboat. Going to the figure four. Figure four on Flair. Right on the letters, too. Right in the middle of the WCW logo. We're going to find out. Oh, man, Bobby going through it right now. Staggering. -10 in Iowa. Jesus Christ. Like right now? Or maybe in the winter. It's 62 and sunny here right now. He's there. No, he ain't there. Did he touch the ropes though? No, you can't break it. Too bad. He got him in the face. I love that the commentary team and Bockwinkel are all just right there up against the ring. Ray Fran, Fall Brawl 94. Like, should we watch that one?
He's holding on the rope. Steamboat now probably should go right back to the leg again. Well, that's me. He's really favoring it. But it's Flair on the offense, believe it or not. Not hard for me to believe. After taking that punishment, Flair's on the offense. Can he hold him up?
Nope. Oh, that's a... Oh. I hate... Oh, man. I really hate Nick Patrick's 3 counts. Just that weird little thing with his hand. God, that bridge. Backslide. Mike Witt, no, not live streaming Backlash. It's on too early. I will be up to review it, though, later in the afternoon. Two count again.
Can you hear what Steamboat's saying? They are so close in ability. Such language coming out of that man. They are so close in endurance.
Jeez.
No one's gone out for popcorn. Every eye here is focused right on this ring. And Steamboat shows the referee. Better watch himself here. After this great match,
Jeez.
like that. He's firing back on Flair. Steamboat using his legs to get power in those backhand chops. Flair doesn't have it anymore in the legs. You're right. Steamboat's got more force in the blows because he's got the legs. Sending Flair in. Here he goes. Double chop. Flair goes.
Flair. Oh, I forgot there's the ramp there. I'm like, he's to the floor.
The runway.
Easier to drag him back in this way. They're announcing the time limit here, but I don't think it goes the time limit because we know the run time on the show. It's going to be a quick show, though. It's going to be small. I think last year's Backlash was like that, too. This one's got like 5 or 6 matches. It's going to be quick, probably 3 hours max. Only problem is 1 week from tonight, we're not going to be here for a watch-along because I have family coming over. I'm entertaining that night, so I won't be here. But I'm going to try to give you guys something in its place. Figure out that this week. Tonight's my prep night for the week. I'll figure out what I'm doing. We'll get the link up for tomorrow's Raw review. I'll work on my Backlash shit for the weekend and figure out something to put up. Probably be up here midweek, too. Maybe a predictions news brief type of thing. You all right, Steamboat?
Hey, the fans are with him here. This has been a valiant fight for Steamboat. He put the figure 4 on the master of the figure 4, and Steamboat is buying time on the outside. But none of Steamboat's favoring his right arm. Maybe there's some nerve damage. Maybe there's something wrong with that right arm. Maybe attack again. Chop.
Oh, my God.
Back and forth they go again, fans. It looks to me like Steamboat's got a little more gas.
Orndorff was in the company right now, too, right? Rick Rude was kind of brought in to replace Orndorff in the Heenan family in '87. And they kind of had a brief feud there over, you know, who had the better muscles and shit. Briefly. Would have liked to see that picked back up here in WCW.
Flair climbing. That instincts now. He's going for it all. And Steamboat immediately got up and Flair's caught.
No.
But down for the champ.
Steamboat going up. I like this camera shot. Feels like they're in between the top and middle rope. Missed. Nobody home. Forced to. Yeah, he was too. The cameraman was in between the top and middle rope. I feel like they're going to grab this camera or something. Maybe not. Whenever they switch to this camera, it's got a different video. Oh, he blocked the figure 4. You know what Backlash when The Rock grabbed the camera and then ate a stunner? It was definitely like a cheaper camera because when they switched to that video feed, it was definitely not as the same quality. Did Steamboat grab Rick's balls? Probably. Oh, cool. Oh. Yeah, Flair or Valentine liked the face bumps too. Valentine wasn't as dramatic. Oh. Look at that pinning combination. Wow. Fans are into it now. They can feel like you're coming down to the end here. I just never understood why. I mean, I guess Patrick goes all the way down to technically like check the shoulders and whatnot, but his 2 counts aren't. They're not pro wrestling 3. They're not pro wrestling counts. He needs to like slap the mat, make sure the fans can hear it. They can count along. 1, 2. He does that weird little thing with his hand. God, big superplex coming. God, be careful, guys. Oh my God. Wow. Jesus. That's got to be rough. A finger, anything. Just put something on, lay something on Flair. I can see way too much of Ric Flair there than I want. I don't know who the better heel ref is. I hated them both. I hated Danny Davis. Oh my God. But I was also 10. Oh, I hated him so much. I hated Nick Patrick too, though. But I was way older for Nick Patrick's run. What is this? Oh, yeah. Okay, the double chicken wing. I'll lay him back in a backslide. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yeah. Double pin? Or did we? Well, they're both pinned. Or somebody got their shoulder up. Randy Anderson and Nick Patrick. These 2 peas in a pod. 2 mullet mustache fuckers. They were both down, so now they both go to WrestleMania to face Yokozuna. Nick Patrick kind of reminds me of Danny McBride right here, doesn't he? Like the way he's talking. He looks like Danny McBride in like Eastbound and Down. Fucking Nick Patrick. Well, I guess if it's double pin, tie goes to the runner type of thing, right? Or champion should keep his belt. Look at Steamboat pissed, pushing Nick Bockwinkel and whatnot. Oh, and he gets pyro too. Oh, Steamboat's pissed off. Somebody said they would have another match on Saturday night, and then Steamboat would work with like Austin, right, for the U.S. title too. I think that match happens. So Steamboat's there for a little while longer, and then he's out.
Two things. Tradition dictates that if a match would be a draw, that naturally it would go to the champion. But this was not a time limit situation. The other situation.
Nick Bockwinkel explaining it here.
Flair was the champion, and it was the job of Steamboat to take and be 1/16 or 1/32 of an inch ahead of him. He was not. He did not prove it. So he, at this moment, till I can take this to the board, the championship will be retained by Flair.
That's why Bockwinkel's the best. I've always been a Bockwinkel mark, and it's because of shit like this. Homeboy explained it to us, and it made sense. He goes, it wouldn't make sense to give Steamboat the belt. he didn't technically win. They both got pinned. So how can I give him the title? And he's like, normally tradition would dictate if it's a time limit draw, I would go to the champion. This situation was different, so I assessed and I made my decision. Bockwinkel's tremendous. Fucking legend. Love Bockwinkel. He was like that when he was champion too. An eloquent voice.
By this Saturday night, things could all change. There could be no champion. Steamboat could be champion.
That must be where the rematch is on that Saturday night, right?
What could happen? We will explain
Yeah.
on WCW Saturday night. No, my adrenaline's going now. I want to know now what is going on. Forget your little sheets and your...
Yo, Bobby's melting down over here.
He's the champion. He's got the belt. He should be left with the belt. Don't have no meetings about Steamboat.
Don't have no meetings about Steam. Will you chill out, Bobby? And fix your little colorful cummerbund there. Your little tie. Your little snot rag.
That means by Saturday something could change. Something could happen. You're exactly right. Well, I mean, with the board. Fight with the board. You're the commissioner. Let's be the board. I'll be your board. You be the commissioner. So fans, for Commissioner Bockwinkel, who is a busy man,
Bobby.
for
Mean Gene. And Bobby and Jesse and Bockwinkel and Shivani, Gordon Soley running the hotline. No Jim Ross anymore, but they got some talent in front of the camera and in the ring. Man. I love that we always got the credits with them. I got a fly buzzing on my light. Tito, come do your thing. Hunt this fucker. All right, guys, that's it for this week's watch along. I sincerely apologize for next week. I'm going to keep an eye on my schedule, though. My shindig is a daytime thing. It actually is going to end right around the time I normally start the watch alongs, but I don't think I'm going to be ready to go at normal time. And if I go any later than that, it's going to be pretty late on the East Coast. So right now, I'm not planning to do one unless I came up like an hour or two later, but I don't think I will. So I'm going to come up with a different idea instead and try to put some sort of content up here next Sunday. Maybe I'll bust out a quick review on a show, and I'll put that in its place. And then we'll be back at it 2 weeks from tonight with the classic watch-alongs. But you'll still see a lot of me this week. Tomorrow night, we are going to be back reviewing Monday Night Raw. We'll be here to review night 2 of the WWE Draft with lots of big picks coming. I'm predicting Gunther to SmackDown, Judgment Day to stay on Raw, the New Testament or the Final Testament to come to Raw. Those are some of the big moves that I think I can see happening, but I definitely think Gunther's going to make the switch. So we'll talk about that tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw, and then I'll probably come up here for a midweek video because there's no podcast really this week since we're going to be reviewing Backlash. But not that we can't get into news on that show as well. But I might be up here midweek for a Backlash predictions video, along with addressing any news that might be going on and what might be going on Dynamite this week. That's a good idea, Juliet. Saturday night's main event watch along could do that. I need to get back into those. Really need to reorganize those. Maybe I could do one next week. But the thing is, Elizabeth is normally at work on Sunday night. She's going to be off too. So I don't want to ditch her and lock her out of the room while I do a watch along. So I think I'm not going to do a stream next week since she'll be home. But I'm going to put up some sort of content. Maybe I can even record a watch along and put that up. I'm going to figure it out. Tonight's my night to kind of organize my shit. Every week I kind of follow the same routine. We come up here for a watch along. I sign off, and then I kind of start getting my layout ready for what I'm going to do on the channel for the week and the podcast and shit like that. So I'm going to do that tonight. We'll figure it out. And I appreciate you guys being here as always. And make sure you're here tomorrow night for the Raw review. I will post a link to that tonight in a few hours. So just keep an eye up on the channel and you'll see a link to tomorrow's Raw review ready to rock for you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thanks again for being here.